you will be glorified, that you will be honored, that you will be adored. So we thank you, Lord God. We thank you now, Father. Open up the hearts and minds of your people as your word come forth now. Let it come forth in power and mighty demonstration of the Holy Spirit. Father, you said your word that goes forth, it does not return unto you void, but it accomplishes that which you sent it forth to do. So we thank you now, Father. We honor you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. One last, clap your hands as you take your seat. Glory God. Glory God. Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. God is a good God. Amen. Amen. Appreciate you and each and every one of you for coming to the Lord's house this morning to honor him. Even some was a little fearful, but you came anyway. So I'm not sure about that, why it's still open, because God says so. Until he tells us otherwise, we come into the house of the Lord. Amen. Want to make sure this house is open as much as we can. We're going to bless him. Yes. So this morning I want to talk about for a few minutes, it's isolation time. It's isolation time. Isolation time. That word's been going around quite a bit. You know, around us, all around us, we hear that word a whole lot. And so I heard it in my spirit last week and I'm like, okay, God, what exactly are you saying to your people? What are you saying to us when you say isolation time? So I began to meditate on that word isolation and trying to make sure I understood what it meant. First of all, what does it mean to be isolated? You know? So the Webster say it means to separate a person from others and put him by himself, or to separate out a problem to deal with separately. All right, then the Hebrew word sagar definition for isolation means to shut up, to deliver, to pure, to give, to enclose, to stop, to repair. There's some synonyms we use for isolation: separation, segregation, quarantine, installation, seclusion, protection, solitariness, aloneness, remoteness, inaccessibility. So go right quick. I'm going to have you jumping around a good little bit today, but it's going to be good, I promise you. I'm still depending on God as he brings this word for us. Isaiah chapter 26. We're going to start there so you can see what God says when he's talking about isolation. Begin at verse number 1. Everybody's there? Anybody want me to wait a minute?
Yes, 1 minute.
All right. I'll wait a minute. We ain't that much of a hurry. Go back to your isolated houses. Isaiah chapter 26. We're going to start at verse 1. So it reads like this. It says, "In that day, this song will be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city. God will appoint salvation for walls and bulwarks. Open the gates, that the righteous nations which keeps the truth may enter in. You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for in Yah the Lord is everlasting strength." Amen. Now drop down to verse number 20. And God says, "Come, my people, enter your chambers and shut your doors behind you. Hide yourself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation is past." Amen. That's God saying. come in the house, close the door behind you, hide yourself for a moment. And then in Matthew 6:6, we know that one that says, but when you pray, you ought to do what? Go into your inner room, shut your door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. And your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you openly. Amen. And so in this season, we find ourselves as a world, when we think about isolating ourselves, we are encouraged to do so that in the event you have the contagious disease, it won't spread to other people outside your house. Now, they ain't talking about in your house. You can spread it, I guess, inside your house, but you can't spread it outside your house. But that is really not the isolation I want to talk about this morning. I want to talk about it from this standpoint of what God is really saying about being isolated with Him. All right, being isolated with Him. So what are you saying? I'm talking about, why do I need isolation? So I say this to y'all every Sunday, is that this is the year that you what? Get a hold to your what? Own relationship with God. I tell y'all that every Sunday, though. This is the year that you take ownership of your own relationship with God. And so what does this mean in this? So when God say, you can hear me. You know, because a lot of times people do. And that's good when God is giving you leaders and all of that, but He don't want you so dependent on people that you get paralyzed on what to do next. Yes. You know, He did give you pastors after His own heart. The scriptures say that. Yes. But He wants you as the individual child of God that He saved to know His voice well enough to know that you know what to do if you can't get to the people that you're trying to call on. What you gonna do? Yes. So He wants you to isolate yourself in Him. In Him, okay? He wants you to make sure that you got your radio dial, your soul, the inside of you, on the right frequency. I heard that one this morning. Are you tuned in to the right frequency?
All right.
Because it's a whole lot of static out there, I'm telling you.
All right. All right now. All right.
A whole lot of static. And if you don't know the voice of God for yourself, you'll get sucked in to the wrong voice.
Oh, yeah.
You start listening to the wrong chatter.
Yes.
You know, you start listening to the wrong thing. So God said you need to isolate your thing. So before we get to that part, the one thing He wanted me to talk about, isolate. The first one is this. You got to isolate your thoughts. Your thoughts inside of you. Your thoughts. And, you know, a lot of the people in the Cross All Boundaries, not just across all boundaries, but the body of Christ, period, they have such a low self-esteem. And I'm still trying to figure out where it comes from, especially when you've been saved for a moment.
My God.
Your self-identification, who you are, your worth, your value. And in this hour, in this time, you got to self-isolate so you can say, do I believe really? Do I trust really what the Word of God says concerning me?
Jesus.
Do I really believe that? Or do I allow my past failures, my past sinful life to keep drawing me back to what it was?
Right.
And I don't recognize that the value is not in what I did, but the value in who God called me to be. Everybody understand that? It is not what you think you are or what you think you are not. It is not in that. It is what purpose that God has ordained for your life.
My Lord.
And so if you are walking around on the earth, then guess what? You have value.
Yes.
You are worth something. You are worth a whole lot. He calls you royalty.
Yes, He does. Yes, He does.
You know, so when I see people with their head hung down and they're a Christian, to me it don't look like it go together.
Right.
You know, it don't go together. When you say, you know, call me and myself, why? What is it that we can say to help you to understand, get that on the inside of you, that God loves you so much despite light of who you are and what you've done in your life.
Thank you, God.
That's what unconditional love, we talked about that last week, is all about.
Thank you, God.
It's a song that said, what he looked beyond my fault and what saw my need.
Yes.
You know, he knew we was going to mess up. He still loved us and died on the cross for you. That should show you your value right there. You know, so let's turn to Psalms 139. We'll get our thoughts right concerning who we are in God. Psalms 139. Y'all know that scripture. You know, a lot of this stuff I say, a lot of time, it ain't nothing new. It's really nothing new. This whole Bible, you know, it's not nothing new. It sounds like we be repeating ourselves a whole lot. Same thing we already know over and over and over, a whole lot. But sometimes, you know, we have to be reminded because we allow the things of this world and we allow the enemy to take away who we are in God. We mess up and then that guilt and condemnation and all of that start slipping in and then we go right back to, oh, God must don't love me. Oh, God mad at me. Oh, wait, you know, no. You got to get past that place. So the devil is a liar.
Yes, he is.
God is exalted.
Yes, he is.
Never be defeated. That's what you got to put them songs and the words down in your heart. So when that enemy come in, you got something to say to him.
Yes, indeed.
You got a word for him just like Jesus did. That's what Jesus did. Y'all remember when he was out there in the wilderness?
That's right.
And the enemy came for him?
Yes.
Well, he gave him what? The word of God.
Yes,
he told him what God said. He didn't tell him what he was thinking. Because I know he was hungry. I know he was tired. If you ever did any bit of fasting, you get tired and you get hungry. But he didn't give in to that. He told the devil what the word of God said.
Yes, he did.
Man shall not eat by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. That's how I'm going to live. You know, so that's what we got to do. So y'all got to put this stuff in action. Don't let me be up here wasting my time Sunday after Sunday, wasting God's time. Y'all don't know how I have to struggle to get this little word out for y'all. I don't get it like the apostle. It don't come like that for me. I have to spend some time.
Yes. Yes.
Me and the Lord have to fight it out, you know, to get this word for y'all. I want you to take this word and hide it in your heart that you will not sin against God. That you will remember when the enemy come in like a flood, you will lift up what the standard against him.
Yes, God.
The standard is what? The word of God. And you will hold fast to that word. And you're going to make a determination, I'm going to live this holy lifestyle. I'm not going to be slipping and sliding in and out, double-minded in and out. I'm going to live this holy, this righteous life. Yes, amen. So Psalms 130, I'm going to read the whole thing. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
This is a good one. Oh, Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You understand my thought afar off. You comprehend my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. But there is not a word on my tongue, but behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You have hedged me behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend into the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to you. For you have formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in the lowest part of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance being yet unformed, and in your book they were all written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I could count help them, they will be more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Oh, that you would slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, you bloodthirsty men, for they speak against you wickedly. Your enemies take your name in vain. Do I not hate them, O Lord, who hate you? And do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemy. Search me, O Lord, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxieties, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Amen. Did y'all find yourself in it?
Yes.
Did you find yourself?
Yes. Definitely.
You were formed in the inward part before you even got here.
That's right.
God was working on you even before you got here. There's no such thing as I done messed up too bad. That doesn't reckon with God.
All right.
Number 17 said, how precious are your thoughts towards me.
Yes.
God is thinking about you all the time. Talking about how to bless you, how to bring you to the next place in Him, how to love you. God's thoughts towards you are all the time. Tell me if that don't make you valued.
Jesus. All right. Thank you, God.
Who else you know think about you all the time? Tell the truth. Not a soul. Nobody think about you all the time. They might, your name might run across them every once in a while. Your spouse, y'all might think about each other a couple of times a day, but it don't be your tell the truth. Y'all know y'all ain't think about them all day, every day.
And he know.
You know. Tell them this. You know it's true. Not all day, every day. I don't care how much love you got.
Every day.
It's impossible because you got to do something else. You got to work. You got to do other things. Most of us can't, do more than one thing. Multitask, as they say. So this song is telling, I look to God who saw my ending form from the beginning. I look to the God who has given us His very precious and only begotten Son for my life. That's how valuable I am to Him. Isn't that something? He gave His only begotten Son. Really, He came down from heaven Himself for me. That makes me what? Valuable.
Yes.
So I got to isolate my thoughts about what God says concerning me. I got to get that together. I can't let the enemy keep on fooling me.
Yes.
Y'all remember that old saying, yes, I'm black and I'm proud? Y'all remember that? That was a good saying. It really was, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it again. I'm black and I'm proud.
Yes, indeed.
That was a good saying for our community. But they don't hold up nothing to what God has said concerning me.
That's right.
Say it.
I am a daughter of Zion. I'm a son of the Most High God.
Yes.
I belong to Yahweh.
Yes.
The great I am that I am.
Yes.
He has called me by my name. I am His.
Yes.
I belong to Him. That's how you got to put that word. You got to isolate that word where in your heart you got to put it in there.
Yes.
Put it in there so that when things do come, you got it already. I'm the beloved of God. I'm the apple of His eye. I'm loved and favored by Him.
Yes.
You say, how do I know? I know it because when I go in and shut the door, when I isolate myself, He tells me. Now, do He tell me other things? He do, but He lets me know, remind me that I belong to Him. And even when there's correction, even when there's direction, that's love because how else would I know?
All right.
So, He ain't always talking good things. Sometimes He correcting some things, but that's a good thought.
Yes, it is.
All right.
That won't let you keep on doing the wrong thing and going down the wrong road that don't bring you back into order.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
So isolate those thoughts and bring them into what God is saying. Let's look at the second one. The second kind of isolate. God say you need to isolate your ear to hear the right voices. Y'all understand that? Isolate your ear to hear the right voices. I talked about this a little bit at Bible study the other night. It's so many voices out there, especially now when we're in this condition, pandemic, whatever we're in. It's just so many voices. It's so many voices. And if you're listening to really even about 2 or 3 of them, it's going to bring you all kind of confusion. Everybody Everybody contradicting each other.
That's right. That's right.
Even the preachers, I'm going to tell the truth. Even them.
That's right.
Everybody got their own way, their own thought. And they ain't got to say nothing about what other people are doing in their churches. God bless you. But I can't be listening to every voice, because every voice is not for me. Because if I listen to too much, it's going to bring in chaos and confusion. So what is my advice to anybody? I say turn the TV off.
Okay.
I say shut Facebook down, because it is loaded up today.
Yes.
It's loaded up today, girl. I'm telling you. People on Facebook that you ain't never heard of. I'm like, I don't know, I'm shutting you down because no, I can't do that. I advise you to get off social media for a day or so. If you want to stay in faith, that is. Like, if you just want to see where everybody doing, be nosy and all people's business, if you want to get in total confusion, go ahead on and stay on there.
Yes, indeed.
God says it's time for you to isolate your voice, isolate your ear, that you would hear the right voice. We need to restrict our ear and tune out of the words that's creating fear and panic and confusion. Y'all hear that? You need to make sure you are shutting the door and tuning into heaven. Hear what God is saying to you. I'm not talking about as a church, I'm talking about to you.
Yes.
What is he saying? You say, I don't know what he's saying. That's why he wants you to shut the door.
Amen.
Isolate yourself. Come on in here so you can begin to hear the voice of the Lord. Genesis 1:1-4 said, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and dark. Formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. God saw that the light was good. And he separated. Y'all hear that? He did what? Separated the light from the darkness. You said, what that got to do with it? God was saying it like this. You can't have two things and it's occupied your mind at the same time.
Right.
Darkness and light does not occupy the same space at the same time.
That's right. That's right.
One got to come and one got to go. Y'all understand? What that got to do with me isolating it's got everything, because you got to have faith or you got to have fear. Both of them can't stay in the same space at the same time. And if you isolate yourself, God is going to begin to fill your soul, fill your mind with what? With faith. It can't occupy the same space. Either I got to trust God or I can't, Either I got to listen to what he's saying or don't. They contradict each other. Light and darkness contradict each other. Because when you're in darkness, you turn the light on what? Darkness got to go. You can't stand it. We can look at that in the natural and in the spirit. So when you turn on the light of God's word in your heart and in your mind, guess what? That darkness, that confusion, that dread, that frightfulness, it's got to go. It can't stay in there. So if you want to make sure you stay in a place of peace, you got to keep turning the light on. If you got to increase your light turning on, keep on turning it on.
Right.
Or leave it on. Do y'all leave y'all light on at night? Sometimes you got to leave the light on.
All right.
Don't flip it on and on. Just leave it on. Let God's glory fill your heart and your mind and your soul. I heard this the other day about fear. I got this from one of my voices. I don't tell y'all nothing I don't do. I don't listen to everybody. Y'all hear me? I don't listen to everybody, but I do listen to a few. Because I know they speaking what? Words of faith. And I told them this in Bible study. He said, this comes from Chuck Pierce ministry. He said, fear says something bad will happen. And God will not keep his promise. Isn't that something? Y'all hear that? Fear says something bad is about to happen and God will not keep his promise. Uh-oh. You say, I didn't know that's what fear meant. Yeah, that's what you say as a believer. I ain't talking about unbelievers. I'm talking about with you across all boundaries, the people of God. Fear says that something bad is about to happen and God cannot be trusted. Really, that's what you're saying. God can't be trusted to bring me through this. God can't be trusted to protect me. God can't be trusted to provide for me. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
God can't protect me to give what I stand in need of. God can't protect me to bring me some toilet paper.
Okay. Okay.
God can't honor me to bring me something to clean my hands with, to wash my body with. That's what happens when we get caught up in all the chaos.
Yes.
God can't protect me and provide what I need in my cupboard.
Right.
Because that's what happens. Because we just not going to the store just to, because we go to the store and do all that hoarding and all of that. That is not of God, people.
Okay.
So you got to isolate your ears so that you can hear the voice of the Father. Because this world system will have you running cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You'll be out there doing all kind of crazy stuff, You'll be doing it, I promise you. So if fear says that God can be trusted, then faith says what? I trust God. God will what? Keep his promise.
Yes.
He's not what? A man that he what should lie. People gonna lie to you, I'm telling you. People made all kind of promises, but they will lie. They didn't intend to sometimes, but they will just because of the situation they find themselves. But you can depend on what? God. So isolate your ear to hear the voice of the living God. Everybody got me? What I said?
Isolate your ears to hear the voice of the living God.
The last thing, and we'll close. Let's go to John chapter 10. Isolation. God is calling for isolation. And see, a lot of people don't like isolation. I'm going to tell you why. Most introverts can handle isolation.
Mm-hmm.
But extroverts, them suckers having a hard time. They're having a hard time. Why? They got to have a whole bunch of people all around them. They don't like that, shutting things down. They having a hard time with that.
That's right.
Yep.
So when they start sitting down talking about they gonna pray and read their Bible, all kind of other things come in their mind, all kind of things that they need to be doing, all of this that I need to talk to, I forgot to call all of these other distractions begin to get in their way. But God is calling you to extroverts. You got to settle down.
Yes, Lord.
Just you and God. You got to be solitary with this thing. Just you and God. Y'all know you like to play solitaire. Dude, tell the truth. Some extroverts, they don't like to play by themselves. They don't like to play by themselves. Dude, tell the truth.
You right.
Who the extra? You don't like to play solitaire, do you? Devil.
Do I like to play by myself?
Yeah.
I don't mind.
She said she don't mind. No,
No.
really, she don't.
I don't mind.
She don't mind. She's one good old introvert right there. It's down. So look at chapter 10. Y'all there? What does God say? Jesus said, most assuredly I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he brings out his own, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him. Why? For they know his voice. Yet they will by no means follow a stranger. Y'all tell y'all children stranger danger?
Okay.
They will not follow a stranger, but will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. I'm going to pause right there for a minute. So, a lot of times, I'm going to give y'all a good example. Holy Spirit be trying to tell you something. So I got a confession today. So, Pastor Eliza had a surprise birthday last night. And so, we was planning on going. Okay, we was planning on going. She put up on Facebook that her surprise birthday party had got canceled.
How was she going?
she put on there. And so we said, oh, it's the older part of we canceled. Holy Ghost told me, call Bree. Because something ain't right with that, what she just not saying. No, I ain't got that. She know, Bree probably told her she was having the birthday party. She done canceled. Come to find out, no, she ain't canceled. She was talking about her own surprise birthday party she give her own self. So it was a little bit of confusion. So none of us went to our birthday party because we thought it was canceled. But then we had what? Listen to the Holy Ghost when he told me, check with Bree because that don't sound right. But I said, no, Bree probably just told her she had to cancel it because, too many people going to be gathered. Y'all hear me what I'm saying? So the Holy Spirit is on the inside of us. Sometimes we don't know exactly what it means or what he's saying, but we need to do what? Follow up.
Yes.
So we was talking about two different events. She was talking about her own party, but we got invited to the party Bree did. Y'all see what I'm saying? Two different events. She was her own. Bree did one, confusion in the camp. But Holy Ghost, this thing say, the voice of a stranger, what? We will not follow.
Right.
The voice of God tells us. He gives us instruction. We might not always know exactly what it means, but we need to follow through with what God is saying and shut out the voice of the stranger. You know when something don't sound quite right, or something in your spirit is a little perturbed, as they say. God said, Jesus told his disciples, the voice of a stranger, what? My people, they don't follow that. You're going to follow my voice. That's what this isolation is all about, so that you can begin to what? Tune into that frequency so that you can understand the voice of the Lord a little bit more, a little bit better when he's speaking to you. Everybody get that?
Yes.
Tuning into God, shutting that door, isolate yourself so that you will know this is God talking to me. What is he saying to me? That's what he's saying. So it's not that you can't hear God's voice, but you won't shut the door or quieten yourself long enough that you will be able to hear God's voice. You want everybody else to tell you what to do. God said, no, I want you as an individual, you, and you. I want you to hear my voice. So you got to isolate yourself. So that you can hear my voice. Let's go on. Then, at verse number 7, it says, Jesus said to them, most assuredly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who come before me are thieves and robbers. But the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief does not come except to what? Steal? Y'all hear that? To kill and to destroy. I have come that you may have life and that they may have it what? More abundantly. This is Jesus talking. So you got to, so what is he saying? Isolate your ear. Isolate your ear so that you can hear and understand what he is saying concerning you, concerning your life, concerning what you're supposed to be doing as far as purpose is concerned. And even in the season that we're in, what is God saying to you?
Right.
What ideas are God giving you so that you can help somebody, that you can reach out to somebody? What does God want? How does God want to use you in this day? Because he got you. Remember, I already said that what? You already protected. You already have faith. You already have confidence. So who can I influence? Is my ear in tune enough that I can hear God when he tells me somebody is a little afraid? Can you give them a little word of comfort? Or are you complaining about, child, they ain't got no faith? No, Don't do that. Don't talk about where people find themselves. Is it bad? Yes, it's a bad thing. But God has what? Set us in motion, set you in place that you can bring what? Some calmness and some peace to all that chaos. Don't you be a part of the chaos. Make sure you're the one that brings the calm in the storm.
Amen.
Don't add to it. When you're in that store and they're acting a fool, tell them, calm down, honey. It's going to be all right. I promise you. That's what you need to tell them. Calm down. Maybe they don't have, but don't cuss out the clerk because you can't find what you want. What kind of foolishness is that?
That's right.
Calm down, honey. That's not right. know, this child is making a living. She's here. This is her job. This is not her responsibility. What's not in the store. She's just taking your little stuff out. Don't do that. Bring some what? Peace to all that chaos. You know, but you got to isolate yourself to be able to do that. Because if you're fearful, guess what? You're going to add to it. You're going to add to it and not bring peace to it. All right, I got one more. This is the last one. It said, God said, isolate your time. I talked about this one at Bible study too. Isolate your time. What are you saying? Since y'all at the house, they'll shut y'all down. I know a few people still got to work. But a lot of y'all at the house, they done sent you on home. Y'all got y'all sweet, nice little children at the house. y'all homeschooling, y'all doing all that awesome things. My God, y'all be saying, praise God. Y'all ain't doing that, Lord.
When that school won't be back.
When the school gonna open back? This here don't make no kind of sense. Child, go in that room and get out my face.
Eating up all my food.
I can hear y'all in my head. That's what y'all do. Child, I don't know what that is. You got to call your teacher. I don't know what that is. Getting aggravated with the polar children. They didn't cause this. So what is God saying? Because you know, y'all know I already tell y'all, my parents were older, so I'm old school. Because I'm going to tell you how we did things at the house, okay? So when we used to come home from the bus, we come in the house, you change your clothes, because you didn't wear your school clothes around the house, okay? Change your clothes. Then, you know, you might have got a little snack or you might not. It just kind of depends. Then you might have a few little chores that you forgot to do before you left home the morning before, you know, that morning. Then probably about 5 or 6 o'clock, you come in to sit down at the table.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to eat our dinner
Yes, ma'am.
together.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to say our prayer over our food.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to eat our food.
Yeah.
Together.
We're going to talk about our day.
Yeah.
And then we're going to, whoever's responsibility, kitchen duty today, it's your time to get the kitchen together.
That's right.
We're going to wash them dishes. We're going to clean the kitchen. And then guess what? The kitchen is shut down till tomorrow. All right?
Jesus.
You got it, Grandma.
It ain't no more snack time. It ain't no more what's in the refrigerator. The kitchen is what? After the dishes is clean, guess what? It is closed. Until tomorrow morning. After you do that, you might have a little homework to do or something. You know, I might have a little order a little wrong. Y'all got the picture. Then you took your little bath. You put them clothes on by 8 o'clock. Guess where you was? In the bed. Night, night. That's order.
Ain't that the truth?
Time. God trying to help y'all get this time thing together. So instead of yelling at them kids, all that I call that physical abuse. Some of y'all hitting them, slapping them, and everything else. Get some order in that house and redeem this time.
All right. Amen. That's still a little hard. Oh, Jesus.
Use this time for good and not evil.
Yes. Yes.
Bring some peace to your house. Quit all that murmuring and complaining because of kids at home.
Yes.
Enjoy your time with your children because they're not going to be what babies always. They're going to grow up. They're going to grow and move away from home. And then you're going to wish they was back at that. Oh, they'll never call me. Wonder what they doing. Wonder what Susan doing. She ain't called me in a long time. They do. Yeah, you do. See, y'all say that. I know you do. You got to enjoy your time.
Yes.
Set some order. Ask the teacher what's a good schedule so I can make sure that they stay on schedule this week. You know? Give them some recreation time. Give them some downtime. Put some order. Don't just let them do what they want to do all chaotic, running around crazy, ain't have doing their work. Just no, this is order. Bring some order to your house. Redeem this time. Isolate this time. Put it into order. It's not going to be like this always. Y'all understand? So this time, this moment, capture this time. If you and the wife, husband and the wife, y'all enjoy one another, please. Instead of sending them on errands, enjoy this time. Ain't time to do no honey-do list. No, enjoy this time together.
Why she on my foot? My foot hurt.
Relax. God gave you a Sabbath.
Yes. All right now. All right.
Yes. It's a Sabbath.
Yes.
What they did on Sabbath? Rest.
Yes.
I said, God said, I need to use this. God says, since these crazy church children of mine, they don't have a good sense that at least take one day out the week and rest.
Right.
They call that lazy. No, that ain't lazy. That's rest. That's what God did. He said he worked how many days? 6.
That's right. That's right.
Told us to rest on that last day. So you ought to redeem this time. Enjoy this time. Set aside this time. Enjoy your children. Teach them something besides, make them put the electronics down.
Amen.
Take that phone from them. Put it in the drawer somewhere. Take them outside.
That's right. That's right. What's that?
What's that? Outside. Take them outside. Do they have a bike? Can they ride the bike? Do they have a jump rope? Can they jump rope? Do they have a basketball? Can they play a little ball? Do they have a softball? Can they play a little softball?
Okay.
Y'all don't do none of that, do you? Do none of that. Hopscotch. Marbles.
Okay.
No, they don't know nothing about that.
That's with the hose.
You know, let them go outside because they need to burn some of that energy. So no need to get mad because they tearing the house up. They need to burn some of the energy. Just put them outside. Let them enjoy themselves out there. And keep the phone in the house. Let them be creative in their mind. They come up with all kind of own games. They make up their own stuff if you just let them out. So redeem this time. Allow God to set this time in motion. Use it and use it wisely. You know, the restaurant's closed, so what? Learn cook something. Cook. You know, and teach your children, your boys and your girls how to cook. You know, I'm finished.
All right. Good work.
But do it. Isolate that time. Don't waste this time, y'all. And don't fuss and murmur and complain. We read about that in the book of Numbers. God said he can't stand it. It drives him nuts when the children who he calls so valuable and lovable